good movie. I think I warned you of this last time. It is it is a very dirty, funny
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
If you like A Million Ways to Die in the West, you'll like it. If you like Family Guy, you'll like it. Um, because it is a very stupid funny. Like I said, and it's dumb humor too.
Hmm.
Like I said, there was this game. It was called the Cat Game, and literally they put Jim Gaffigan in a car as a guy getting pulled over, and they walked up, and he's like, license and registration. They're like, meow, do you know why I pulled you over? And so it's just he throws meow in anywhere. And he's
Hmm.
got the other guy he's got the other cop on the other side with his hands on the hood, and you can see his belly shifting like he's laughing really hard, and you can hear him. And then he's counting down how many times this guy says meow.
Hmm.
And you look at the end, and he's like one away. He's like, eh, and he comes back and goes meow. But it's just a stupid, funny scene
Hmm.
that there's no swearing or anything in that particular one. But like, there's another scene where one of the cops walks up and he's got this like metal looking thing covering his private parts with like a strap, and they show his butt portion, and it kind of looks like a thong with a giant cover up.
Hmm.
And they were doing this thing where he's like, "This is our new, cup protection, whatever." And they're messing with the newbie, and they're like, well, "What do you always do when you get new equipment?" He's like, "You test it." He's like, "Yes, you test it." And they're talking about something, and you just see him shooting this dude, and he flies back, and they're shooting him in the crotch, and he flies back, and he's like, "Woo!"
Thankfully, that particular piece of equipment worked.
Right. So, and it worked, but it was really funny watching him get shot like this, and he wasn't actually shot. He was, it was all special effects,
Right.
but they made it seem like it was real bullets, and then the captain comes up, and he grabs the gun, and he shoots it, and actually shoots the car. He's like, before that, he's like, back in my day, we made the rookie wear this thing, and then he shot it, and he's like, and we also use blanks, you know. So it was a funny scene. And then there's another one, which is my favorite, which involves everybody's favorite cop, Farva. Um, Farva is a cop who doesn't know how to joke around. His
Yeah.
jokes are very cruel, very mean. Nobody really likes him. He in the beginning of the movie, you see that he's put on dispatch.
He's the guy who tries way too hard
Right.
and fails.
And so he's he, they're all talking to him, and the captain's talking to the three guys about their shenanigans, or they're talking about Farva, and they're like, they're like, our shenanigans aren't, his shenanigans are evil, and one goes, evil shenanigans, and then they're like, our shenanigans are cheeky and fun, and then the guy's like, or the captain's like, I'll swear I'll pistol whip the next person that says shenanigans. They stop for a second, and they goes, hey Farva, who's that? What's that restaurant you like with all the goofy crap on the walls? And and he's like, oh, you mean shenanigans? And then they pull out their pistols and hand them to him. Oh,
Yeah, bet you won't do it.
right. So it's just a funny. He's like, put them away. But it's just a funny scene because it's like, they're saying shenanigans a whole bunch of times, and I think I love when one of them goes evil shenanigans. But I just love when they're like, hey Farva, what's the restaurant you like with all the goofy crap on the walls?
Just get his dumb self to walk in.
Yeah, and he just sticks his head out of the window,
Oh,
sticks the
yeah.
head out of the thing. He's like, "Oh, you mean shenanigans?" So there are a lot of stupid funny, but it is a dirty movie. It's not a kid friendly movie by any means. But if you get a chance and you like that kind of movie, really do go and see it. It would be really sweet. I or the regular one is really cool. I haven't seen the new one. The new one is probably going to be just as
I
cool.
imagine so. The
Um,
same team.
well, I know the Indiegogo, or like when they did the campaign, they put out this video,
Hmm.
and it showed them flying down the expressway, and it ended up with Farva being thrown in the trunk. And they said, now if you reach our goal, we'll let Farva out of the trunk.
Hmm.
But if you don't, he just gets to stay in there. Which I don't know why that didn't discourage some people to
Right. So you think most people are like, oh, good, leave him in there.
right. No, but anyway, so that's how they funded the entire thing.
Mhm.
And there's not a lot of movies. I got to give them props because there's not a lot of movies that you can
Yeah,
fund.
not
This
successfully
is
like
completely crowd funded.
that. Hmm.
It's 100%. There's no more. So there's it's anyway. It's a good movie. Um. So yeah. But Super Troopers. What's another good movie that's?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think. Are you talking on the same lines of like comedy and stuff like that, or you just talking about any random movie?
I'm talking about any random movie.
Let's see. I had to answer this question the other day. What was my favorite movie of all time? And I'm like, I honestly can't even remember.
Super
So,
Troopers.
it's hard for me because I have there's a lot of comedy movies I enjoy, but at the same time I also enjoy a lot of action movies, then some foreign films. But I think I'm a huge fan of the director Quentin Tarantino.
Are you?
I've enjoyed Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Jackie Brown.
See, and I haven't seen a lot of those. I want to see Pulp Fiction because I've
Mhm.
heard it's a really good movie.
That movie is
But
hilarious.
they also don't seem like my kind of movies. So
Yeah, they're weird because they're usually most of his movies are usually funny, but they're always like very dark humor. Usually
Right.
a lot of people die. There's usually a lot of
like Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
or like not Johnny Depp, but Tim Burton.
Yep. Yeah. Usually, and there's an over exaggeration of blood and everything like that. But I know it's two movies he recently had come out. Well, I say recently, within the past maybe like 6 or 7 years. So I know there's Django most recently, and that movie was very good. And also the movie Inglorious Bastards, which was kind
That
of a
was a
spoof
good
on World War
movie.
II. Yep, see,
That was
I love
the
that
the only
movie.
problem I had with that movie, and Tyler disagrees with me on this, is the fact that I had to read it.
Yeah, and I guess that was done more for immersion, because I know Tyler and I always joked about World War II movies when the whole cast was like, say, American, and the Germans were like, okay, Fritz, we're gonna go. It's like it didn't really make sense as far as the time. I mean, plus
Well, and I mean, I don't care if they give him like a French or like a German accent.
sure,
That's cool.
yeah,
But my problem is, it seemed like a really good movie. They put up all this hype, and I'm sitting there watching, and I'm like, because and I don't know if it's just me, but I can't like those kind of movies. I have to stop it so I can read the
I'd say
subtitles.
yeah, because there are a few times in that movie I know that like when I was first watching it a few times. I mean, I swear I'm at the point where I can quote that movie, whether
Right.
they're speaking in German, French, or English. I know what they're gonna say because I've seen it so many times. But there are some times when you miss something if you're too busy reading the subtitles, and I mean, not everyone can read just like boom like that.
Right.
Plus, I mean, I know I had a little bit of an advantage because most of the language spoken in the movie was German, and I've done it like I think about 3 years in German in high school, so I surprisingly knew a lot more than I really thought I did.
Right.
As far as I can't speak it that well, but I can understand some of it without having to read the subtitles, which I thought that made it kind of cool. But yeah, that was I think done more for like immersion, to kind of make you feel like you were really you were really watching the Germans when you're watching the Germans or the French and stuff like that. And he, I I almost made the argument that it was because of historical accuracy, but that movie is a complete spoof on World War II. There's
Right.
not a thing accurate in that movie besides maybe uniform structure and everything like
Right.
that. But um, I I guess maybe it would just be the fact that the Germans are the Germans and the French are the French. But I like that movie because to me that really I never heard of him before seeing that. But the actor Christoph Waltz who plays the antagonist in those movies, Hans Landa, the SD, he's the SS officer from the secret police division of them.
Right.
He is such an excellent bad guy in that movie, and he portrays that kind of that really smug and kind of clever bad guy that's so desired in a lot of movies. And I like that they brought him back in for the movie Django.
Right.
Because to me, he's played the same character, except he was kind of on the right side this time, if you will, as opposed to being a Nazi.
Right.
Well, I guess I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I guess some people would say if they haven't seen Inglourious Bastards, stop listening for the next 2 seconds. But he kind of redeems himself at the end of that one, in a sense, if
Right.
you will. But he's still a Nazi. So.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how much redeeming you can do for being a Nazi.
He's got a lot to atone for, and maybe the action that he went through in the end of the movie. Yeah, some people that would be fair, but that's really that's really not up to the individual to decide.
So do you watch a lot? You don't watch a lot of TV, do you?
Not really. There's some shows that I catch up on either that have been put on Netflix or I get DVDs of.
So apparently last night was the MTV Music Awards.
Okay.
I didn't get to watch them. I read up a little bit on it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this thing going around. It's a speech from the singer Pink,
Mm-hmm.
to her daughter, and I wanted to try to play that if I can for a few seconds because I heard it was really good and I wanted to listen to it. Again, I haven't played it first.
I know I don't have a lot of time, but if I may tell you a quick story. Recently, I was driving my daughter to school, and she said to me, out of the blue, "Mama." I said, "Yes, baby." She said, "I'm the ugliest girl I know." And I said, "Huh?" And she was like, "Yeah, I look like a boy with long hair." And my brain went to, "Oh my God, you're 6. Why? Where is this coming from? Who said this? Can I kick a 6-year-old's ass? Like, what?" But I didn't say anything, and instead I went home and I made a PowerPoint presentation for her. And in that presentation were androgynous rock stars and artists that live their truth, are probably made fun of every day of their life, and carry on and wave their flag and inspire the rest of us. And these are artists like Michael Jackson and David Bowie and Freddie Mercury and Annie Lennox and Prince and Janis Joplin and George Michael, Elton John. So many artists. Her eyes glazed over. But then I said, "I really want to know why you feel this way about yourself." And she said, "Well, I look like a boy." And I said, "Well, what do you think I look like?" And she said, "Well, you're beautiful." And I was like, "Well, thanks." But I said, when people make fun of me, that's what they use. They say that I look like a boy, or I'm too masculine, or I have too many opinions. My body is too strong. And I said to her, I said, "Do you see me growing my hair?" She said, "No, Mama." I said, "Do you see me changing my body?" "No, Mama." "Do you see me changing the way I present myself to the world?" "No, Mama." "Do you see me selling out arenas all over the world?" "Yes, Mama." Okay. So, baby girl, we don't change. We take the gravel in the shell and we make a pearl. And we help other people to change so that they can see more kinds of beauty. And to all the artists here, I'm so inspired by all of you. Thank you for being your true selves and for lighting the way for us. I'm so inspired by you guys. There's so much rad happening right now in music. And keep doing it. Keep shining for the rest of us to see. And you, my darling girl, are beautiful. And I love you. Thank you, MTV. This is a really special night. Thank you, Ellen. I couldn't love you more.
So to me, that was a really good speech.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, because in today's society, you've got so many people that putting gender itself aside, that feel like, oh, I'm not perfect. I'm not this model. You don't have to be.
No, yeah, I mean, everyone's an individual in their own right. Mentally, personality-wise, and physically. I mean, we can't all be, Greek gods,
Right.
as far as body structure or anything like that.
Well, and you look at some of the people that she named off,
Mhm.
and I mean, Elton John isn't the skinniest dude in the world.
Yeah.
But he's very talented. He's very popular. He, like she said, he sells out arenas. She sells out arenas. I wouldn't have even said that she looks like a guy.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
No.
She's very, very, very beautiful.
And I mean, and it's not more for his looks, but it's how he appears on stage. But I'm a big fan of the rocker Marilyn Manson.
Oh yeah.
And I know he kind of, at least from what I've portrayed, is from what he said and from what I see he does that almost to like make himself a target.
Right.
Because he wants to stand up for the kids like not say like him, but the kids who get made fun of, that are bullied all the time. And he's like, fine, you want someone to bully? Here I am, come get me.
Right.
Honestly, I have a lot of respect for him because he's, if you listen to his interviews, if you don't like him and I know he does look a little scary with makeup on, but he's really a genuine guy for everything I've heard. I mean, a lot of people know his name. He gets blamed.
Everybody knows his name.
Yes,
you say Marilyn Manson, everybody's like, oh, that dude.
Oh yeah, and it's either they hate him or they love him, and I get it. His music doesn't cater to everybody. I mean, of course, my mother hates his music, but
I was gonna say I've never really given his music a chance, but
yeah,
I don't hate him.
Yes,
I really don't.
It's his own genre, and I mean, I just bring him up because I know some of the names of the artists that she's talking about, but I can't bring pictures to my mind of what they look like. So this is just my correlation as far as that goes.
Right.
But a lot of it's like society nowadays it's always been like this, where they always want to, structure people to look a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a cover girl model, or seeing the latest actor, looking shredded on the beach in a swimsuit.
Right.
And I mean, I get it.